Right, we're on to the last of the three chords that I wanted to do in the sequence of D, D, G and A, in order that we could play the song that we have in front of us. So we're just going to sing the first couple of lines. You'll see of this, and I will be doing this like D and D and G, A and G and D, D and D and G, A and D. So we're now looking at the A chord. So this is what you're looking at, is a picture of the A chord. I just clipped that screenshot from Justin Guitar. Again, excellent videos Justin Guitar has. So what you can see, and again I'm using my mouse here, so you can see here's the guitar chord chart, as you can see there. And you can see in Justin's case how he's playing the three fingers beside each other. We're going to construct that chord in our little chart as we've done before. Okay, so here's what we're going to start off with. So firstly, I'm going to, like before, I'm going to use the markup tool on my iPad with my pen. And I've created a little template here. So in other words, I'm going to draw on the fretboard here where we're going to play our different notes for the A chord. So the first thing I want to establish is the chord we're playing, right, is the A chord. So the chord there is A. And the three notes in a chord, they're made up of the root note, which is A, which as we see down here, I'm just going to pick that out here. So if we start with A here, and we go up 4 half steps, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll end up with the note C, which is the second note in the chord of A. C sharp, sorry, that's C sharp. Okay, as we went up 4 steps, 4 half steps from 1, 2, 3, 4 to C sharp. Okay, so I'll just backspace on those. So I'm just trying to keep my deck clear. So we say the second note, therefore, in the chord that we're going to be playing is C sharp. And to construct the third note, then we go from C sharp, that's the second note, that's this note here, and we go up 3 steps, C sharp to D, D to D sharp, and D sharp up to E. So E becomes the third note in the chord of D. Okay, so we just note that down now. And so all of the notes that we're going to play on the guitar, and remember, we could play up to 6 notes, that's these 6 strings. If we're going to play a note, it has to be one of those notes. So what I'm going to show you is we saw it on the guitar, on the Justin Guitar, he had 3 fingers down. So what we're going to do is, the first note you're going to use is you're going to put your index finger, right? So we're going to just hold it like this. We're going to put on the string, we call it string number 4. So we're going to locate string number 4. We're going to put fret number 2. And we're going to put our index finger. So let's actually go locate those. So string number 4 is here. Fret number 2 is there. So that's the point at where we're going to put the note. We're going to put our finger there. So again, just wipe them out. Right, so this is the location. And we're going to just use the blue here. So string number 4, that's the first string. And the finger we use is our index finger. I note that. Our index finger. I'll just undo that and select the pen instead. Index finger. And just get my colours right. So I'm trying to use the greens for the next note that I'm going to use. I'll just wipe these. is I'm going to put my middle finger on string 3. So let's just note this down. The objective of the exercise, string 3. String 3, fret 2, middle finger. Let's locate that. So with my mouse, I'm on string 1. So the string numbers you can see at the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. String 1, string 2, string 3. And the frets we can see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going horizontally. So string 3, fret 2 is where the mouse is at the moment. Again, I'm just going to use the highlighter tool to highlight that. Except I should have done that a different colour, obviously. So I need to make that my blue. And I use my middle finger, index middle. That's my middle finger here. Again, would be useful if I chose the appropriate colour. Middle finger. And now from the next note, just wipe those out. And this time I'm going to use string number 2, fret number 2, and the finger I'm going to use is my ring finger. Okay, so let me look at fret number 2. See the mouse running up and down on fret number 2. String number 2 is there. So that's where I'm going to place my in blue. I'm going to pick my highlighter, and again I could have concentrated on picking the correct colour, so just apologies for that. So now there's those three notes there, and this is going to use my ring finger. So those 3 notes. So I'm just going to play those notes now one after the other. The first note I'm going to play is this note here. So that's on the D string, which is string 4, with 2 up, and I put my index finger there, and it sounds like this. If I were to play that open and I was raise my finger, it'll go down to a D. The next note that I want to play is this note, which is the on the G string, or the 3rd string. I'm going to play the 2nd fret with my middle finger, and then the last of these is on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string with my ring finger. So those 3 notes. So if I don't play those 3 notes together, they're the chord A. So in the chord chart, there are you have to ask yourself, what happens if I play these strings here? This top string, the E string. What happens if I play the bottom E string? And what happens if I play the A string? Should I play those? Should I not play those? So I said before, if you're going to play a note, it has to be in the chord. It has to be contained in one of these 3. So it either has to be an A, a C sharp, or an E. So let's examine the ones that I've already put in. So let's examine this one. See, what note is that? Okay. So I'm going to use a yellow to identify that. Right, so firstly, if I look at the open string, if I lifted my finger there, play that string open, that would be a B. Now if we look down at our section here, the next, again, each of these 12 half steps is like a fret position on the guitar. Every fret is a half tone or semitone. Every little step here is a half step or a semitone. So if the open note I play on the 2nd string is a B, that's this note here, the next note up a line would be a C. So if I played that note there, that would be a C. So if I move up from C, the next note up is to be C sharp. So there you are. I see that that's a C sharp. So let me just write that on this here, a C sharp. And you'll note that C sharp is contained in the chord of A, whose notes are A, C sharp, and E. So that fits. Let me look at the next one down, which is on the 3rd string, the G string, which if I play it open, it'll be a G. So if we go down to our little map, what happens if you play the 1st fret? You go up from G to G sharp. So that note there is a G sharp. And then if you go from G sharp another half step, you get to an A. So that note there, which I've shown, is the A. And again, A is in fact the root of its own chord. So both of those notes are part of the chord. Let me go down to this one. This one is the D string, the 4th string. Played open, it's a D. The first fret up, as you can see from my mouse, is where it goes to a D sharp. So that's a D sharp. And the next note up is an E. So it goes from open, which is D, to D sharp to E. So look at that note, it's an E. So each of those 3 notes that I'm just playing now, A, E and C sharp, are all part of the chord E. Let me look at the other notes. So let me look at the top string. The top string is shown there open. Do I play it or do I not? So the important thing is, if I'm going to play it, I'm going to write something in this area here. If I'm going to play it, I write an O for open or X for don't play. So what I'm going to say, open. What is the open string? It's the letter E. Okay, and of course E is part of the chord of A, so it's a perfect thing to play. So what I do is I'm just going to, I'll use a red signature there to do that, and I'll show you that that's played in, it's played open. So you play that string open. So now I'm going to play the top 4 strings, E, A, C sharp and E. So I play them together. That's the A chord. And now let me look at this string here, the 5th string. Again, the 5th string when played open is A, which of course it's the root of its own chord. So therefore we play that. So now I'm playing 5 of the strings. Now when I showed you the picture as shown by Justin Guitar at the start of it, it showed an X here. So this is the limit of my musical understanding, etc. Because if I consider that open note is an E, so that E is perfectly a member of the family of notes in the A chord. So to my limited estimation, if you decide to play this note, then it's perfectly valid to do so. And I would put that in open. Now, there's possibly a reason for that. I haven't worked it out yet. So if anybody has any suggestions, please inform us. But in simple terms, all of those notes, so I'm going to play all of those notes together. And there you go then with your A chord. What I'm going to do is do a screenshot of that and be able to then provide that as a resource graphic to go along with this. I just saved that in photos. So what I'm going to do is I just press done on that, and let's just return to our song. So that's the A chord, and again, just to play out what we're looking to try and do. So we've been on 3 different videos looking at the D chord, the G chord and the A chord. So joining all those together, if we were to start off with D, we would play D and D, moving on to G and G and G, and now with the A chord, A and A and G and D, D and D and G and G, A and A and D and D. So what I would ask you is, don't concern yourself too greatly with the A7 here, just play an A at the moment, alright? That's, we're not trying to confuse the issue. And the objective of these videos was to get us to a point where we're able to play a song which is melodic, enjoyable, nice to sing. I happen to think it's a beautiful song. And to give you the motivation to work with these chords and to actually put them into practice to be able to play them. Now, once you've got those 3 chords, you can play lots of different songs with them. So once again, and I'm just, so if I were to sing the words, it'd be going, in comes the train and the whole platform shakes. It stops with a shudder and the screaming of brakes. And I just think for yourself, you want to just practice it with the D. D and D and G and G and A and A and G and D. So that's the end of this particular exercise. I hope it's been of interest, of benefit. I'm really interested in your feedback and how this operates for you as a motivational and learning tool. I've been using the skill sets of I'm using an iPad, I'm using a Bluetooth mouse on the iPad, and I'm using an iPencil to mark up the video in the Photos app as a tool for teaching you to learn. So from Mel Kjol, hope this works. It's a bit of fun and